I had a conversation with a very successful business person. He's in partnership with someone else, and without his awareness or consent, the other partner did some pretty shady things. And of course, that's the shock of betrayal. And now he's sort of getting all of his ducks in a row and he's going to make a move. But in the meantime, he's completely closed himself off to everybody. He's exhausted. He's just completely untrusting. He's keeping to himself and just doing the things that are a very normal stage 2 out of the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough thing to do. And I was talking about the difference between being healed and being hardened. And being healed means you completely move through your experience where you learn, you become very discerning about who you can trust, who you can't trust, and you take the lesson that that experience was meant to give you so that you go into the next thing with some more tools. Hardened is a little bit different. That's sort of like, I'm going to keep everybody at a distance, or I'm good as long as I don't see them, things like that. That's not healed. That's hardened. And, we've had over 100,000 people take our Post Betrayal Syndrome assessment to see to what extent they're struggling. 67% out of all of them, 67% out of 100,000 people put that big wall up, keeping the bad ones out, but they keep out the good ones too. They're preventing deep relationships because they're afraid of being hurt again. And you know what it's like? It's like, imagine, let's say you love cooking and you get burned on the stove and you're like, that's it, never cooking again. That's not fair to you. Now, is it something that you need to cautiously, carefully learn how to approach the stove again? Yeah. But to just swear off cooking, that's punishing you. What you don't want to do is give the betrayal more power than it's already taken. It already has taken your trust. I mean, think about it. There's a complete and total shattering of trust, right? Rejection, abandonment, belonging, worthiness, they're all shattered. And what you want to do is build all those back. But if you don't, and if you say, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to keep myself at a distance and I'm not going to trust anybody. I'm not going to engage with anyone. I'm going to keep my ideas to myself because I'm afraid someone's going to take them. All of the things that are a natural thing we could do, when you do that, what you're doing is becoming hardened and not healed. How do you become healed? You move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough, the 5 stages of betrayal recovery. So that's not to say these things didn't happen or it's never going to happen again. First of all, if it does happen again, you're going to have the tools to see it clearly, to move through it much quicker. But when you do have these experiences, you don't want to give them any more power than they've already taken. They've already taken so much from you. Think about it. The longer you stay with this, with it unhealed, with it unprocessed, now you're going to have symptoms of post-betrayal syndrome. So now think about it. The person stole, cheated, lied, were deceptive, whatever. And now on top of that, it's going to make you sick, right? And then it's going to keep you from having deep relationships because you're afraid of, trusting again. Think about it where it's already, look at what it's already taken from you. And are you willing to give it that much more because you're swirling in rumination? Now, rumination is an important piece of healing. What you don't want to do is marinate, where you're staying there way too long. That's stage 3. So anyway, just something that happened. And if that's something that happened to you, just take note of it. Am I sitting with this for too long? Because that stage 3 gets really comfortable and it's the hardest space to leave. So you want to know where you're at so that you know what you need to do to move to stages 4 and 5. So I hope that helps. Follow for more.